So, how do we release that kind of energy for ourselves, and how can we release it for other people? I want to share with you a practical tool that you can use as coaches to not only release that for yourself, but to connect and release that in other people. We would run this programme for men incidentally, but it would be mild. That doesn't work, does it? Men in leadership development, not really. Okay, each of us has more hidden inside us than we have had a chance to explore. The longer I live, and I've lived now for 51 years, so I have considerable experience, but the more I work with people, the more I believe the truth of that. There's more inside of us yet to come out. How can we do that? And I just wanted to talk to you about a tool that I use and I think is very powerful, and you can use it too, and it's called Realise 2. And it's a tool to help you understand more about what you do best and to discover where your strengths are. And if we can show up in our lives with our strengths, we can actually turn our purr into a roar. It's based on 60 different identified strengths. It's been psychologically validated, and it's been designed by CAP, which is a Centre for Applied Positive Psychology. I don't know if you've heard of CAP. And Realise 2 is the name of the tool, and there's good old Popeye who had his spinach to get his strength. The CAP vision is very, very simple. They want to strengthen the world. What a vision. What would it be like if every single person that you as a coach came into contact with, what would it be like if you could enable them to connect with their strengths in such a powerful way that they're transformed in front of your eyes? What would that be like? I can honestly tell you, I see that happen time and time and time again as I work with this tool and help people connect with their strengths. Now, of course, we need a business case, don't we? Because it's not enough to say to somebody or an organisation, this is a great thing to do. They want to know the business case. And would you believe that people are happier, more confident, and have higher self-esteem when they're playing to their strengths? Wow, I'm sure you're all amazed. You've never thought of that. They perform better. They actually achieve their goals. They're more motivated in the workplace. This is really key at a time, particularly in the public sector, when things are so squeezed. There isn't the money for high motivation programs and bringing in expensive consultants. There isn't the money available for that. Here's something very simple that we can do. Connect people with their strengths and they will be more motivated. They will be more motivated to give of discretionary effort. People are more engaged when they're playing to their strengths. Wow, what a revelation, how amazing. They're more likely to develop themselves and other people. All this is validated, all the research is there for you to find. There is a sound business case for this approach. So what does Realise 2 measures? 4 things. Your realised strengths, your unrealised strengths, your learned behaviours, and your weaknesses. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about those. So, what are they based on? 3 things. How you perform, in other words, are you any good at it? Energy. When you're doing this thing, does it give you energy or not? And usage. How often do you do this thing? So those are the 3 measures. So your realised strengths then are things that you're good at. Everybody knows you're good at, and you know you're good at it. Things you do well. And not only do you do them well, but they give you energy. And this is an important ingredient. It gives you energy. Sometimes you can do something and afterwards you feel a bit tired, but you also feel energised because you've been doing something that deep down you feel you were born to do this. And I know you know what I'm talking about. And they're things that you do a lot of. So you're good at it, it gives you energy, and you get to do it a lot. Fantastic. The idea is you maximise that. Because what would it be like if we showed up in our life like that? What if we got to do the things that we were really good at most of the time? How motivated would we be? How alive would we feel? Learned behaviours. Now this is interesting, and I like this differentiation in the model because they're things we do a lot of. And the example I give is I do a lot of administration. I'm quite good at it. I can do these things. I can do an expense claim form. And I can do these things, but do you know what? It leaves me feeling like that. Absolutely drained. And there will be things that you do, and you're good at doing it, you can do it, you know how to do it, there's no competency issue here. It's just that every time you spend time on it, you're left feeling absolutely pooped, because it's a learned behaviour. So the idea is to moderate their use. For example, one of the things that I'm not so good at is I'm directionally dysfunctional. It's just one of those things. I can't find my way anywhere. And I could do something about that. I believe I could. I'm a development coach. I could change my mindset. I could take some action. I could take myself on a geography course. I could learn to do orienteering. I'm perfectly capable of doing those things. Do I really want to put my energies into that? No, not really. I'd rather use my sat nav. And so the idea of a learned behaviour is there'll be things that you can do, but is it the best use of your time given that it leaves you feeling drained? And then there's your weaknesses. Now, I've never been on skis and I can't even manage a toboggan. So I think we can safely say that this is not a great strength. I don't have a sense of balance, I can hardly stand on one leg. And these are things that you're just not good at. It's just not going to happen. And we all know there are things that we're just not good at. Just not good at. And we may or may not do a lot of these things. Now, it's tragic. And I've coached some senior people who spend most of their time doing the thing that they're not good at. And what that does for a person in terms of their self-esteem and their self-efficacy is so debilitating. And these are things that leave you feeling drained. So not only are you not good at it, it gives you no energy, and you're left feeling like that. It's bad news all round. So the idea is you minimise them or you make them irrelevant. That's why I use my sat-nav. And then there's your unrealised strengths. Now, this is the area where there is most potential for growth and development. And as a coach, this would be the area that you hone in on first. Because these are things that energise you. Things that you may not have done before, that are in your unknown box, if you like. My daughter in skydiving realised that she'd got an unrealised strength of adventure. And that's since come out in her profile. And since finding that out, she's put herself into all sorts of situations she wouldn't otherwise have done. And is now set to reform the entire penal system in the UK. And she probably will. But they're things that you don't do much. So there are things that you're really good at that give you energy. It's just they don't show up very much in your life. They're unrealised. And the idea is to maximise those things. And as a coach, to work with other people to find their areas of brilliance and then help them show up with that much, much more. So very simply, your learned behaviours are things that you want to do less. Your weaknesses are things that you want to do less. Your unrealised strengths are things you want to do more, as with your realised strengths. It's as simple as that. So you want to actually be living up here. And the more we can live north of that line, working with our unrealised and realised strengths, the greater energy we have. Now, a practical example, I had the privilege of working with an African leader who blew me away. He leads a leadership academy in Madagascar. And I met him and he said, Tania, he said, you have all this knowledge. He said, I want to drink from your water bottle. That was his expression. Such humility. And I spent 6 hours kind of downloading all sorts of stuff and profiling him to oblivion probably. And but one of the things we did was a strengths profile. And one of the things that emerged for him as a strength was spotlight. He is somebody who loves and is good and is energised by being in the spotlight, being in front of a crowd. Now, this is an African leader, and part of the culture is to be quite humble and to look down, to not put yourself forward. And I had the privilege of working not only with him, but the person who manages him. So I was able to say, now look, if you want to maximise what this person can give, put him in the spotlight. Have him fronting up conferences. Put him in front of people. Don't keep him sort of doing business plans or anything like that. Put him in the spotlight. And as I said that, I watched this man grow in front of me, and he beamed. And it was fantastic. And so he is being in the spotlight, and he's taking me with him because we're doing a conference in Madagascar for hundreds of people, and I'm thinking, how did that happen? But it was fantastic to see someone who just got seen. I love the film Avatar. You know, when they meet each other on Avatar, they look in somebody's eyes and they say, I see you. Isn't that fantastic? And I think deep down we all want to be seen, don't we? And as coaches and people working in personal development, we have the incredible capacity and gift to look into the eyes of someone else and to see them and say, I see you, and I see these strengths that you have, and watch the transformation that takes place. It's magical and it's fantastic. And we can use our strengths to overcome weaknesses, and we can also find complementary partners. So there are things that you're not good at, you know you're not. Find someone who's good at that and work with them. And that's one of the reasons I co-founded the Wild Consultancy, so I work with people who complement me. And it's fantastic, we work well as a team. I found a virtual assistant who loves all the things I hate in administration. Fantastic. When I mentioned the word spreadsheet, she actually lights up. It's weird. So, if you'd like to sort of try this tool out for yourself, go to Google Strengths 2020, it costs £17 I think to do the tool online. Have a look for yourself, see what you think, and get in touch with me.